get your own instance like this?
I'm sorry, your voice is not clear, Saloni.
Did you request your own instances? Other day I told you how to get your own development instance. Did you get that? Hello?
Oh, actually, we just opened that, didn't logged into the website.
Okay, no
We
problem.
need to create the web, like, we need to create the account with my credentials.
Yeah, you will have to create an account of yours. Then only you will get another instance like this.
Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
everyone gets their own instance. You are not going to share it with anyone. It is only your instance. So you will have to register over there. Then only you will get your own individual instance.
Oh, okay.
Vanilla, what about you? Hello? Vanilla, are you there? I can see your name, but I'm not getting your voice. Vanilla, are you there? Can we start? Hello? Srinivas, can you please check with Vanilla? Srinivas? Just one second, Ramya, let me just check with Srinivas where is Vanilla and then we'll start.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Your voice is not coming, Vanilla. Can you rejoin? I'm good. Do you want to rejoin? Because your voice is not audible.
Vanilla, can you please join back?
I gave you this instance and
Yes,
asked you
yes.
to register over there. Did you register over there?
Oh, not yet. Actually, I'm asking you now. Shall I register in that?
Yeah, you have to create your own account over here in this
Okay.
instance, servicenow.com. Once you do that, it will give you all the registration process. After you do that, on the right hand side over here, somewhere over here, you will get a request your own instance. You will get a link like that. Then you click on that, and then finally you will get your own instance like I have mine.
Oh, okay. Got it. I thought we need some like a client support. Then only we can create a account.
No,
That's why I didn't create it.
like you do
Actually,
for Facebook.
I created that one and I will help you, Ramya, how to create your own.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, Manila.
Okay. So any queries so far, guys? Are you clear what is a ticketing tool? Why ServiceNow? Are you clear on those terms, guys? Both of you? Ramya and Vanilla?
Yes, Saloni.
Can you confirm me?
I didn't hear your question actually.
I'm asking you, I want to be clear with why, what is a ticketing
Hello. Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello? Hello, Ramya?
Yeah, I'm unable to hear her voice, like Saloni voice.
Yeah, me too, same.
Okay, we'll rejoin. Okay.
Hello, guys, am I audible now? Hello. Hello. Ramya and Vanilla, are you getting my voice now? Guys, I'm not getting your voice. Vanilla, you there?
Yes.
Yeah. Has Ramya joined? Ramya, are you there?
No, she is not online. Try to,
Hello.
yeah. No, she is
Yeah.
not.
Okay. So what I was asking you guys was, whatever I covered in the last day, was that clear to you? Does that make sense? What is ticketing tool? Why Servicenow? Are those concepts clear to you both?
Yes.
Okay.
My side also.
Okay. So today we'll start with the architecture of Servicenow. Because obviously we need to understand why is the Servicenow tool getting so much popularity. So obviously there will be benefits included in that, because of which it will be getting the popularity. So one benefit, what I told you people that whenever you are using any company, if they use Servicenow as their ticketing tool, they will only have to worry about what? They will only have to worry about the Servicenow developers. They will not have to hire the people who know database scripting, and they will not have to hire the people who know the server side scripting, correct? So now, how does the architecture of Servicenow works? On that, let's see this. So on the top level, if suppose I am the customer, I am the end user, what will I do? So if I am the customer, I'll just raise ticket of any kind in this ticketing tool. That is my only purpose. My only purpose is to go ahead in the system and raise a ticket if I need a new service, or if I have to get something fixed, then I'll go ahead in the system and raise a ticket of a kind. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, how will an end user, how will an end user create the ticket in the system? He'll go to the user interface. What is user interface? UI is nothing but he will open a particular form of a particular table. In that particular form, he will fill in all the details, whatever details, specifications, whatever he has to enter, and then he'll submit the request. So end user or the customer will interact via the user interface. Next, all these are also there for the third party. So this SOAP and other protocol will be used for the integration. As in when Servicenow has to interact with any other tool, then you will use all these integration platform like your SOAP or any other protocol. So let's skip that for now. We are not understanding that one for now. So right now we can understand that the customers or the end user are exposed only to the first layer. That is the user interface, where they will either read the data by opening the form, or they will enter the data when they are creating a new record in the system. What is next? Next is scripting layer. Who will be exposed to the scripting layer? The people like us who are the Servicenow level developer. We will write our level scripting. We will write it in the scripting layer. So we the developers, we will also be able to make a request for ourselves. So we the Servicenow developers will be able to access the first layer plus the second layers of scripting, which is Servicenow level scripting. As I told you, Servicenow has developed its own scripting language. This scripting language only works within Servicenow. So this scripting language, this scripting layer contains. Does that make sense to you people? Ladies, so far so good? Okay. So now what is next over here? Next is DB layer. So if you might be knowing SQL, you will be knowing that any database only understands SQL command. As in, what is SQL command? SQL itself is a scripting language. And if you have to fetch the data from the database or insert the data into database, always the database only understands SQL command. Means whatever Servicenow level scripting you have written, obviously that needs to be converted into the SQL specific command. How it will happen? So this conversion of Servicenow scripting, which you as a developer did in the scripting layer, to the SQL scripting will happen in the DB layer. But this DB layer is not exposed to you. So when I am the Servicenow developer, I don't have access to the DB layer or to the database layer. If I have to send the data or fetch the data from the database, I have to write Servicenow level scripting to do that. But directly, I don't have access to the DB layer, as in how the data, how the code gets converted from Servicenow scripting to the SQL. That level is not exposed to me. Neither the final database is exposed to me. So this to DB layer and the database is exposed only to the Servicenow parent company. Suppose Apple company I work for, so if Apple company purchases Servicenow, so Apple company will only have me, let's say if I am the developer of Apple company, I am the Servicenow developer, if they hire me, I'll only have access to the first level of scripting and to the scripting layer. I will not have access to the DB layer and database layer because I am a Servicenow developer. I am not the employee of Servicenow parent company. Only if I am the employee of Servicenow company, then only I'll be able to see the database layer and the DB layer. So now what happened in the DB layer? What I told you whatever Servicenow scripting is written in the scripting layer, that will get converted into the specific SQL command in the DB layer. So finally, once this command gets converted, now what will happen? Now this will become a SQL command. So this will now hit the database, fetch the data. And finally, once the data is fetched, the data will again be returned back to from the database to the DB layer. But what does scripting layer understand? It understands SQL Servicenow scripting. So again, the DB layer, whatever data it has collected from the database, it will translate it into Servicenow scripting format. And then to you, the data will be returned into the Servicenow scripting format. So again, to the scripting layer, the data will be returned in the Servicenow level scripting, so you can fetch or work on the data accordingly. So does this architecture make sense to you guys? Are you clear with it? I'll take it as a yes. Okay. Now we are going to see some of the key applications of Servicenow. So these are the key applications. I'm not saying these are the only application, but yeah, these are the most used applications. These are the most widely used applications of Servicenow. We are going to cover all these. I'll start with the first thing first. I'll start with incidents. So let's see what is incident. What it says over here. It says incident means something is broken and it needs to be fixed immediately. So I'll again take the example of laptop. So let's say my company has given me a laptop for working. And now if the laptop crashes, what will I do? Obviously, I'll need to contact the IT support desk to fix my laptop issue for me. Obviously, I'll not go to the market to make it, to fix the issue. Rather, I'll contact the support desk because it is the device belongs to my company. So in that case, if something is broken, you need to raise a ticket to the IT support desk. You will use Servicenow as a platform. If your company is using Servicenow tool, you will use Servicenow as a platform and raise an incident record over there. So if anything is broken, if any issue is there, always you will raise a ticket for the issue, and that type of ticket raised for an issue is called incident. How will we raise that? Let's see. So let me go to the instance. I have opened my instance like this. You people will even get your individual instances. So go to your instance, type incident in the left side. So now you can see whatever modules. Okay. Over here in the left hand side, something are headers. You can see self-service is a header. Here incident is a header. Here service desk is a header. How to differentiate? So if you click on the header, items under it will be hidden. If I click on incident, you will see all these items got hidden. If I click on it, again the items will be visible to me. So whatever is a header is called application within Servicenow, and whatever are the choices under it are called modules within the tool. So over here, let's say for this particular case, incident is an application, and all these create new, assign to me, open, all these are modules under it. So what is application? To club related modules together, we create a header called application and we give any name over there so that we can collect modules which are related together. So I'm going to create a new incident, so I can click on create new over here. So as the name suggests, if I click on create new, it will let me create new incident in the system. Okay. Now what you can see is the moment I clicked on create new, number gets auto-populated over here. Why? Because if unique number is maintained for each and every record, obviously it will become easy for you as an end user to contact the technical team and as well as the technical team to contact you, correct? That is, if suppose something is broken, suppose my laptop is broken, if I don't get an individual incident number, and suppose you people are the technical team, so if I ping it to you, you are not very much clear which ticket am I referring to. So to make it more precise, all the incidents, whenever you create a new incident, the incident number will get auto-populated so that Servicenow its backend does the uniqueness of it, maintains the uniqueness of it. So at any point in time, no two incidents can have a similar numbering. Servicenow is taking care of that in the backend. So the moment you click on new, create new, when you do, the last number, incident number plus 1 gets inserted over here in the number field. This gets auto-populated. We are not supposed to fill in the details. Does that make sense to you guys? What is number?
Yes.
What is next? Next is active. Okay. At any point in time, if you are a technical guy, until unless, as in, so within Servicenow, one thing to tell you over here is that within Servicenow, there are 3 set of people, mainly 3 set of people. One is we, the developers of Servicenow. So we, the developers of Servicenow, we don't have any restriction in this tool. Obviously, we have restrictions that we can't see the database, but in this specific URL, when you open, you can see each and everything in and out. You don't have any restriction. You can see all the scripts, you can see all the records created, everything you can see in the system because you are Servicenow developer. There are another set of people called technicians. So let's say, suppose I work for the hardware team, as in I am, let's say I'm expert who knows how to fix the computer related issue. So I will have a role more than the end user. Why? Because I should be able to create incident plus I should also be able to see all the incidents assigned to my group. Correct? Does that make sense? Okay. So now, at any point in time, if a record is active, if it is active true, then only the record will be visible to the technical guy. A technical guy can't see a closed incident. Generally, it is the case. Obviously, again, it depends on your organization. If your organization wants the technical team to be able to see the closed tickets, they can ask Servicenow developers to change the customization. And that is where our role comes. We as a developer, what is our role? Our role is to customize the look and feel, to create new fields, to do new customization, like creating new field in the system. Or let's say, for example, suppose over here you can see choices are there. So maybe you will get a requirement to create new choices, deleting some choices. So based on your customer need, you are going to customize the tool, make some customization, make some changes. But overall, the structure of the Servicenow tool will be same. I hope that makes sense. So now let's proceed further. So as I told you, active record by default, only the technical team will be only able to see the records which are active true, and they are only going to work on the records which are active true. When does it send it to active false? Generally, we make it active false once the record is closed. As in, once the technical team has resolved the issue, and if you are satisfied with the resolution provided, what you will do? You will go ahead in the system and you will make it closed. So once you close the incident, the active becomes false automatically. I'll show you those things later on, let it be. Next is caller.
Saloni, I have one question. And after finish this issue, status will be changed.
After what? Can you please repeat?
Before issue, you will send to developer as an active issue. Then after finish that issue, your status will change, right?
I'll show you the entire flow. Just
Okay.
give me 5 minutes. That will make more sense to you what I mean by that. Okay?
Okay.
So I elaborate you the entire path because these things are, related, and it requires your understanding on these. Next one is caller. So there can be a case that I am creating the record for myself, and there can also be the case that I am creating a record for you. That is, let's say suppose my mouse is not working. So in that case, obviously I can go ahead in the system and I can create a record for myself. But in the case, suppose my laptop is not working, obviously in this case, I'll not be able to create a record for myself. Because if my laptop is not working, how will I log into the system? So in that case, what will I do? In that case, I'll ask one of my colleagues or whosoever is the support team to create a ticket on my behalf. So caller field is always populated with the actual person who is getting impacted with the issue. So if it is you, you will populate your name over here. If it is anyone else in the organization, maybe your manager, maybe your colleague, maybe any other user, you will select that particular user name over here in the column. Now, one thing you will see it over here in this caller field is it is having a magnifying glass next to it. Correct? So what is the use of this magnifying glass? So any field containing this magnifying glass, let's see the benefit. I'm going to click on it. What it says on the header, it says users, correct? Means this caller field is pulling the data from the user table. Where is this user table located? User table is located in the current URL only. In the current instance, this dev 10281 instance, I have a table called user in which all the users of the current organization are stored. So when I create the incident, I have to select the caller. So I'll select the caller from the user table. I can't type in the name. I'll show it to you what I mean. So let's say I type in test. So what you can see, if I click anywhere else, it will start coming in red color. Why? Because this is an invalid reference. If you can see, it is giving invalid reference over here, means I have selected a wrong data over here. So you can only select a user who exists in the user table. And what is the benefit of it? The benefit of this is that if the data gets displayed in such a manner, the benefit is that human error will not be allowed. That is, by mistake also, you will not be able to select a wrong user. Because many times what we do, we type the spelling wrong. We select, let's say two users have the similar kind of name. We select the wrong user. We give the wrong name. So to make it more understanding, Servicenow brought up a functionality like magnifying glass. And once you click on it, it pulls the data from the user table and lets you select only the right user, whatever you want to put. Let's say I want to select Lucius Bagnoli. So once I click on that name, it will get auto-populated over here in the column. So you can see the caller got auto-populated over here. Does that make sense? Why magnifying glass? Okay. Now, one thing we saw over here that in the case of caller, magnifying glass was pulling the data from the user. In the case of department, let's see what is happening. So I'm going over here in the department. I'm clicking on the magnifying glass over here. What you can see over here, the data is coming from where? Over here, the data is coming from the department table. Correct? So one thing we can understand is that any field which has a magnifying glass does not mean that it is coming from the same table. Does that make sense? So any reference field can pull data from any table. You have to be very much specific from which table you want to pull the data. Okay. So any field containing magnifying glass, the type of that field is called what? The type of that field is called a reference field. Okay. So over here, caller is a reference field because it has a magnifying glass. Department is a reference field, and if a field is a reference, you have to specify from which table it has to pull the data. So whatever field is, whatever table it is relevant to, let's say for example over here in the caller, I wanted the data to be pulled from user table. In the case of department, I wanted to pull the data from which table? What is written on the top? Department. So this is pulling the data from the department table. So you can decide from which table the data needs to be pulled. You can select that table as the reference. So data will be pulled only from that particular table. Okay. Now what you can see over here, the moment I selected the caller, department got auto-populated. Why it happened like that? Because scripts are written in the backend that whosoever is the caller, his department should be populated over there. So you can again make the design changes. Again, your client can say, no, I don't want this department. I want some other calculation. So you can go ahead and you can make the design changes over there in the system. Let's see what next. Again, similarly, the location got populated. So based on the caller in the user table, there with this user, we have some department selected already and we have location selected already. So the moment you selected the user, his department and his location got auto-populated because we have background scripts written like that. The logics are written like that in the backend. That's why it is processing like that in the system. Let's see the next one. Next over here is categorization. Which type of issue is it? Is it related to software? Is it related to hardware? Like you can see test over here. This test one I created it for one of my demo purpose. So you can even create it choices like this in the system if you want. That is whatever should be the test criteria, you can give this in the system. Next is what? So what you will see over here, the moment I select a category, let's say I select the category. The moment I select the category, the subcategory will get auto changed. Again, if I go ahead over here and I change the category to something else, you will see the subcategory again getting changed. So we have scripts written like that in the backend that based on the category, the subcategory needs to be populated in the system. What is next over here? Let's see that. The next thing over here is that what is configuration item? We'll see that later. Let's see that before. Now, always, let's say if I am the technical guy, if multiple tickets are assigned to me, how do I prioritize? So you have to always prioritize. If you are the technical guy, you always have to prioritize the ticket based on the priority of the ticket. How will I get the priority? So for getting the priority of the ticket, what you need to do is over here, you can see what? You can see priority is not editable over here. Why it is not editable over here? The concept says that at any point in time, you are not able to select priority. Rather, priority will get auto-populated based on the impact and urgency selected. So whatever impact and urgency you will select, based on that, the priority has to get calculated in the system. Does that make sense to you? So I'll show you the calculation over here. So now you will see if I change the impact over here, you'll see priority got changed. Similarly, if I change urgency over here, again the priority will get changed. Does that make sense? So now let's see how does it work. So I'll write it over here. So priority is always equal to whatever is the value in impact plus whatever is the value in urgency minus 1. Let's see whether it is correct or not. So right now impact is 1, urgency is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's why you can see the priority is 2. So always this is the calculation. How does it work? It is written in the backend to work like that. Okay. Make sense, guys? So now let me proceed further. Now, what is next thing? The next thing over here is short description. So over here in the short description, what you define over here in the short description, you define what is the use. Why did you create this particular incident? So I'll give the issue that let's say my printer is not working, something like that. Let's say, suppose network connectivity issue. So whatever is the issue I'm facing, I'll write the short description of the issue so that the technical team can understand what kind of issue am I facing it in the system. Does that make sense? Okay. Now in the description, what you will give? In the description, you will give the detailed description of the issue. As in, let's say in the short description, I just gave network issues there. And in the description, I'll give the detail. For example, let's say I'll give steps to replicate. I can give something like this. And I'll give the exact steps, what I did, then I'm facing the issue. I tried this, I tried the other scenarios. Whatever I did in the system, I'll give those over there. Okay. Now let's see the next one. On the right side is what? On the right hand side is contact type. Over here, what you're giving? Over here, you are giving what is the preferable mode. Let's say if I am creating a record, what is the preferable mode with which I want to contact? So when I am creating a ticket, let's say I'm myself the caller. So if I give the preferable mode as email, means I'm saying to the technical team to contact me via email. But it does not mean that if you give the contact type email, they can't contact you via phone and all. It is not the case. You are just giving what is your preferable mode, which you prefer. Okay, what is next over here? Open and open by, again, you can see these are auto-populated. Why it is? So opened one, opened. The moment you click on create new, whatever is the time stamp, whatever is the date and time, that automatically gets populated over here in the open. And whatever, who is the person who clicked on create new, his name gets populated over here. Because this is demo instance and right now I don't have my individual account with my name created over here. Right now, what is the account with which I'm logged in? You can see on the header over here, system administrator is written, correct? So this is the user account with which I'm logged in right now. So that's why in the open why it is showing my name over here. Okay. So now let's see the next thing. Next thing is whenever you create a record in the system, it will be what? It will be in the active state. So let the state be active. What all other states are there? I'll come to that after some time. Sorry. My bad. So if you create a new record into your system, you will see the state setting as new by default. Sorry. Actually, why it was setting as active? Because I have written logic like that. I have done it for one of my students. So that's why the state is coming by default as active. Otherwise, when you will do it in your system, you will see the default value of status coming as new over there in the system. Okay. What is next over here? Next thing is assignment group, the group which has to work. So over here again I have written some script to make it mandatory, but how you can understand a field is mandatory? So any field having a red color star mark before it is a mandatory field. What does a mandatory field mean? What is the understanding of yours? Guys, what do you mean by mandatory field?
Need to fill up that one.
Sorry, what?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
We need to complete the task means like we need to enter that mandatory. We need to fill up that one.
Yeah, correct you are. You need to fill up the value over there. Otherwise, the form will not be submitted. You can't make any update on the record. If any field in that record is mandatory, you have to fill in the data in that particular field.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what it is. So right now it was not mandatory always. Actually, I did it for some of my scripting. Let me see if I can disable it. Because if you try in your system, you will not see it mandatory. Because it is quite possible that if I am the customer, it is not required that I'll know the technical team name who will work on my issue. I am only facing the issue, that's why I'm creating the ticket. It is not a must that I'll know the name of the people who are going to work on my ticket. Correct? So let me fill in the value. So again, you will see if I click on the magnifying glass over here, it is pulling the data from this table. On the top, group is written. So means this one is pulling the data from the group table over here. Okay. So the moment you select the group means what? Which technical team will work on your issue? That is the group name which you need to select it over here. If you don't know the group name, obviously as I told, I have made it mandatory. In your system, it will not be mandatory. So it is not mandatory for you to select the value. You can even submit the record because it is not required that you know the technical team name who has to work on it. But one thing to understand over here is that the moment you select the group which has to work on it, then assign to means what? Assign to means the actual user within that group who has to work on your ticket. So what generally happens is once the ticket gets created, we don't fill in the group name. If we know, we can fill it. So once you fill it the group name, now what happens is if the group is correct, then one of the group members either allocate the ticket to themselves or allocate it to any of the team members. How will they do it? So let's say suppose I belong to the hardware group. What will I do? I have to assign it to an individual user. What will I do? I'll click on the magnifying glass. How many users it is showing you over here? It is only showing you 7 users. But obviously the system right now does not contain 7 users. How? If I click on the caller over here, how many users are there in the system? 694. Then why it is showing you only 7 users over here, guys? Any idea? Guys, any idea?
Yeah. We already selected a hardware, right? These 7 users belongs to the hardware department.
Correct, you are. So over here, based on the assignment group selected, it is showing you members only of that assignment group. So because in the hardware group only 7 members were there, so that's why now you are only able to assign the ticket to any of the members of that particular group. Business service, ignore it. This is another custom field. Ignore it. Don't see that. Leave it. So till this, are we good with all the fields? Is the understanding clear for you? Any of you, any query?
Actually, when you are explaining the time of active and caller, right? Starting stage.
Yeah.
You said like if our system is not working, we are unable to fill this form, like we are unable to create the incident means we can use our colleague system or something, right? Or another laptop. How we can do that?
You will not use others' laptop. You will ask friend of yours or anyone, you will ask them to create a ticket for you. So let's say if suppose I am the logged in person right now, what is my name? System administrator coming over here, correct? So if my name is system administrator, over here who is the caller? Over here the caller is Lucius Dagnolai. Means I am creating a ticket for Lucius. Means Lucius, whoever is the caller, he is the actual person getting the issue. So in this case, who is the caller? Lucius. But am I creating the record as Lucius? Who is the logged in person right now? It is system administrator. So that's why I was telling you that you can even create the record for yourself, or you can even select caller as someone else. Means that you are not facing the issue. Whoever is the caller, that person is the actual person facing the issue. So if you are facing the issue, you will type your name over here. If you are selecting that for other one, you will select that particular person's name over here.
Oh, okay, got it. But one thing, like if I select the caller as my name, the department automatically it will display my department only, right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay, okay.
The department, the location will get populated based on your user profile. If in your user account, the department is there and location is there, it will populate the data automatically. Otherwise, you will have to select the data manually if it is not contained in your user profile.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So are all these fields clear to both of you now?
Yes.
But could you please explain for the importance, urgency, priority, please?
So I can please repeat what severity?
Priority. How to select too high, too medium?
At any point in time, you will not be able to select the priority. Why? Because we always assume that end users, let's say if I'm the end user, for me, printer is not working, obviously it will be critical for me. But in a real-time scenario, obviously if a printer is not working, it is not a critical issue because it is not impacting the business. So, because end users don't have the understanding to decide which ticket should have high priority, so always it is advised that don't make the priority field editable to the customer or the end user. So you can see when I click over here in the priority, I'm not able to edit it. How is the priority getting calculated? Priority is getting calculated based on the impact and urgency I select, but directly priority I'm not able to select.
Yes, yes, of course. But how we can select the impact and urgency?
You can click on the drop down. You can select whatever you want. You know how much the business is getting impacted because of this issue. That you know.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's say if it is very critical for me, I'll select one high. If it is impacting me, but not very much, I'll select low over here. So whatever is the impact, how much it is impacting me, that will be the impact. And how urgently I want the fix, that will be the urgency.
I got it.
Okay, what is next over here? Now, the moment you select the short description over here, let's say I select short description test, you will see in the related results search, it populates some record over here. So what actually it does in the system is that the moment you type in the short description, system checks is there any related issue of this kind created in the past. Why? Because if it shows it to you in such a way, at any point in time you can see that okay, this you can see over here, all the related records are getting displayed to you. So you can click on preview to see how was this issue resolved and what all steps the person took to resolve it, so that you as an end user, without even creating the ticket, you can get the solution beforehand. You will not have to wait for the technical team to get back to you. So that's why related results search shows all the records created in past with the same short description. The dependency of search of the results over here is based only on the short description which you have entered. So obviously if any of these gives you idea, if you click on preview, if any of these are related as in are giving the same solution, you can use that. If you are not satisfied, obviously you can click on submit and submit your incident in the system. Does that make sense? So after this, whatever fields are there, I'll show you these after some time. Sorry, I clicked on submit by mistake. Okay. Now what you can see is the moment the ticket, let's say when you create a new record, you will see the state coming as new, but the moment the ticket is assigned to anyone, automatically the state will change to active. Out of the box, the script is written that the moment assigned to field is filled, this assigned to field is populated with any data, automatically the state will change to active. So because in our case the value was there, so that's why you can see the state automatically got changed to active over here. Now what is next over here? So let's say I am Beth. Suppose I am the assigned to person, means I am the person responsible for fixing the issue. What will I do? I'll try to analyze the issue. I'll try to find the solution of it. And once I find the solution, because I'm the technical guy, once I find the solution, what will I do? I will not close the ticket, but I will click on resolve incident. Why resolve? Because let's say I'm the technical guy and I felt that, okay, suppose printer issue was there. So I'm the technical guy, I fixed the printer, I did the check and it was working fine for me. So if I resolve the ticket, you still have the option to reject the resolution. But if I close the ticket, once the ticket is closed, no one in the system other than admin can open it. So because no one can reopen the ticket which is in closed state, so that's why the technical team, once they fix the issue, they change the state to resolved, and once the end user validates the issue, if he feels that okay, the issue has finally been resolved, finally he is satisfied with the solution provided, then the end user has the visibility to close the ticket. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
What is resolved, what is closed, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So suppose I am the technical guy, what will I do? I'll click on resolve incident. The moment I click on resolve, you can see the page didn't refresh. I'm still on the same page. Why? So if you get like this, if suppose you click on any button and the page does not refresh, means there are some of the mandatory fields on the field, on the form right now, which has not yet been filled. So let me go down. Let's see whether it is. So you can see over here, the system is asking you to fill in the data in the additional comment over here. You can see it is coming in red color and the saying comments are required when resolving the ticket. So you must fill in the data in this, then only the ticket will be resolved. So let me give any dummy value over here. Similarly, if I still click on resolve, you can see still the page does not refresh. Rather, it is giving you an error over here. What error does it give it to you over here? It says the following mandatory fields are not filled in, and then it is giving you the field names. Let's see where it is. I'll click on OK. So any tab which contains a star mark after that is the tab containing the mandatory field. So over here, what you can see in the closer information, there is a star mark after it, correct? So means closer information is having some fields which are mandatory over here. So if I click over here, in the close code, it is asking you to fill in what? To fill in the close code over here. So you can fill, let's say I have solved the issue permanently, I'll give that. How I fixed it, that I'll give in the close notes, how I fixed the issue. What is next over here? Any query? Guys, any query?
No, we need to click on the resolve incident.
Yeah, we need to click on the resolve incident now. So now you can see the page is getting refreshed. Means now your incident moved to the resolved state. And now if I open the incident, one thing I wanted to show you over here, in the incident table, you will see a field called additional comment. If you remember, I filled in the data in the additional comments. It was there in the notes. So now you can see when I pulled the data is not sitting in the field, rather it is sitting in the activity. Like I'll show you in the work notes also, if I give something work notes 1, let's say, and if I click on post over here, either I do a right click save or I click on update, or I do the post, it is going to add the comment. So let's say I click on post. So what you will see, this particular field work notes is not holding the data in itself, rather it is pasting, it is pasting the data in the activity section. Correct?
Yes.
Why it is happening like this? So in the system, what happens is at any point in time, any field which does not store the value in itself, that kind of field within Servicenow is called what? This type of field is reference field. Sorry, this type of field is journal field. So work notes is a journal field. What is the use of that kind of field? That kind of field is used for interaction purpose. So you can see it over here, whatever data I entered in the work notes, it is getting stored in the activity. So now people will be able to see all the details over here. Does that make sense to you? Guys? Now you will see something is work notes, and if you check this checkbox, the same field will become additional comment. What it says in the bracket? It says it is customer visible. So whatever you give in the additional comment, suppose I give any comment, suppose you give any comment, additional comment is visible to everyone in the organization, But whatever is there in the work notes, if I check this, it will become work notes. Whatever is given in the work note it is only there for the interaction purpose of the technical team. Okay. Okay. So now work note is for the technical team to interact. So whatever is given in the work notes, it will only be visible to the technical team. It will not be visible to the customer. And whatever is there in the additional comment, it will be visible to everyone in the system. There is no restriction whatever is given in the additional comment. Now what is next over here? Next over here. So this is type of journal field. What else we saw? We saw magnifying glass field. Which type? What I told? So this magnifying glass type of field is called a reference field. And work notes and additional comment type of field are called journal field. Are those two fields clear to you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now there is another type of field called watch list and work notes list. What is the difference between the two? Let's understand that, and then I'll show you how to pull the data in that. So suppose I am the end user and I created a record saying that my laptop is not working, and now my manager comes to me and says, I want to get an update on your ticket, whatever is going on. He says that, okay, I'll keep a track of whatever is happening. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to add his name somewhere in this record, in this individual record, so that if any update happens on this ticket, your manager gets the update. What you will do in that particular case, if you have to do that in the system, you will add his name in the watch list. So whosoever name is in the watch list, if any update happens to the current record, the person's name in the watch list will also get that particular update. Whosoever's name is in the work notes list, he will get update only when the work notes field changes. There was a field work notes over here, correct? So only if the work notes changes, then only the person whose name is there in the work notes list will get update. But if any field in the system changes, whosoever name is in there in the watch list, he will get update of any field change in the system. Does that make sense to you guys? How will I add a user in either of these fields? You can see the similar kind of fields these are. So these kind of field is called list collector, because you can select list of data in these fields. So that's why these type of field, either your watch list or your work notes list, these type of fields are called your list collector. How to do that? Let's see that. I'll click on this lock. Then using the magnifying glass, you can select the user. Let's say I select Lucius Bernoulli. If I want to select another user, you can see multiple users I can select in this field. I can again click on the magnifying glass and select another user. So now in the watch list, these two people will get the update. Even suppose my manager is not there in the community, not only my manager, anyone is not there in the company, they don't have their account created in the user table, but still if they want to get an update, what you can do? But still if you want to get an update, you can give their email address over here. So I can even give any email address over here in this particular field. And after that, if I click on this icon, you can even add email address to this. Means these two people, that is Lucius and Melinda, will get the update, plus this email account abc@gmail.com will get the update. Make sense, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So now only this much to cover in the incident field form currently. Now what you can see right now is that once the state is resolved, the close incident button is visible to you. Because right now I'm logged in as Servicenow admin, Servicenow developer. So that's why for me all the buttons are visible. There is no such row level restriction. But in the real time scenario, it will not be like that. The incident button will only be visible to the actual caller. Does that make sense? Okay. Now let's see the next one. So what will I do? Suppose I am the caller. I will validate. So once the ticket is assigned back to me and the ticket state is resolved, I'll validate whether I'm satisfied with the resolution provided or not. If I'm not satisfied, I will do what? I will just change the state to active and I'll update the ticket because I'm not satisfied with the resolution provided. So if I'm not satisfied, I'll do like this. But if I'm satisfied with the solution provided, what will I do? If I'm satisfied with the solution provided, then I'm the customer, I'm the user who got impacted. So I can click on close incident. So once you click on close incident, now you will not be able to see the ticket because the ticket is no longer open in the system. Does that make sense, guys? So I'll end the class today over here. And Srinivas, are you there? Srinivas, are you there? Guys, just 1 second. Let me check with Srinivas. I wanted to discuss something with you people. Guys, I'll not be available from 5th May till 13th May. I have to go to Servicenow Knowledge 17, as in what Servicenow company does is it organizes events every year in US. And over there, they show all the new enhancements, all the new functionalities coming in the tool, whichever they are making it available. They train people. So for my company, I'm going to be part of it. So I'll not be there from 5th of May till 13th of May. So let me know if you people are okay with that. And also we'll not have classes on the weekends. So I'll try to cover it on Monday, as in obviously till Friday we'll have class. Saturday, Sunday anyway I'll give you off so that you can practice. And then till 1 second. Till 4th we'll have class. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we'll have class. And after that we'll resume back on the 15th. So let me know if that is okay for you guys.
Yeah, that's fine, Saloni. But I have a question, like what type of work we can face in the real time? Like we need to write a code or something? Like we need to write a JavaScript code?
No, you need to write code. You will, as I told you, Servicenow has got its own scripting language. You need to learn that, and that you are going to do in the real-time scenario.
Oh, okay, like a Servicenow scripting is different from C hash something.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Right?
Servicenow has their own scripting language.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you will have to use it over here.
Mm-hmm.
And Saloni, I have one question. And after this training, do you provide a real-time requirements to us for training?
I'll give you in the, as in while we start the technical terms and all, obviously right now it is very basic one. I'm just telling you currently what am I going to tell you is like your incident form and all, these are just the end user understanding. Obviously I've not started any of the technical term. So once I start the technical term, I'll be giving you assignments on the real-time scenarios. So then you will have to practice all those stuff.
Okay, if we have any questions on it, do you?
I will be in the class. I'll be showing you if you are not able to do the solution or whatever solution you will be doing it, I will be validating it in the class. It will not be like only I'll be giving you questions. Whatever you would be doing in the assignment when in the off hours, and then once the training is over, then every next day I'll be there to check out the assignment, whatever you people have done in the class. I will be validating those. Any other query?
Yeah, and some other. You are looking for the after finish this training. do you have any chances to take calls for us real time?
No, I don't do proxies. I help people, as in I'll be giving you some sample questions and all for interviews. I'll be helping you in the interview questions and all, but I don't do proxies.
And after, if you will get any position on some other location, and in real time, if you have any problem facing on it,
You can
yeah,
go for support. I'll give you support. I can give training. I can give support. I only don't do proxy. Other than that, I can help you. If you need support, because obviously when you start initially, some days you will need my help. In another month or so, obviously you can do it on your own. So yeah, there in that time you can get support. If not me, anyone else, or someone can, you can easily get that in the market. People are there doing the support work. Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Guys, any other query?
No, Saloni, I'm good.
Yeah, Ramya, tell me.
No, Saloni, I'm good.
Okay. Okay then guys, let's catch up tomorrow. We'll have the regular class tomorrow, okay?
Okay, then. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.